All right, today we're going to break down one of the single most costly mistakes a trader can make. It's simple, it's subtle, and honestly, it's something that just doesn't get talked about nearly enough.
And the stakes here are just incredibly high. We're talking about an error that even the most aggressive, seasoned traders fall for time and time again. It is a silent account killer that always seems to strike right when the pressure is on.
So, what is this mistake? Well, we call it the cost of hesitation. It's that critical pause, right? That moment of indecision that can mean the difference between executing your plan perfectly and just feeling deep, deep regret. This is the big idea we are unpacking today.
So here's how we're going to do it. First, we'll define the mistake. Then we'll separate the good hesitation from the bad. We'll dive into the psychology behind it, see how it actually pops up in a live trade, and then cover real strategies to beat it, including a really powerful automation solution at the end.
Okay, let's dive into Section 1, the number one trading mistake. We're going to look at why this simple, unspoken error can be just so damaging to your bottom line.
But let's get something straight right away. Not all pausing is a problem. And that brings us to Section 2. We've got to distinguish between good hesitation and the harmful kind, because knowing that difference, well, that's absolutely critical.
This slide just lays it out perfectly. Think about it like this. Good hesitation is just natural caution. It's looking both ways before you cross a busy street, right? It's a safety check. Harmful hesitation, on the other hand, is freezing right in the middle of the road after you've already looked and confirmed it's clear. In trading, that's when you've done all your homework, your checklist is complete, but you still chicken out and abandon your own plan.
Okay, Section 3, the psychology of the pause. So why do we do this? Why do we freeze up even when our own plan is screaming, go? Well, it really boils down to two incredibly powerful emotions that can paralyze any trader, no matter their experience. The first one is simple, pain. The memory of it, every loss you've ever taken leaves a little mental scar. So when you see a similar setup, your brain flashes back to that pain and throws up a huge roadblock. It's a self-protection thing that, in the world of trading, can make you miss the exact opportunity you've been waiting for.
And the second driver, it's uncertainty. You know, that fear of making the wrong call in the heat of the moment? You start asking yourself, should I exit now? Should I take my profits? Oh no, what if it reverses? This flood of questions is absolutely paralyzing, and it causes you to throw a perfectly good plan right out the window.
All right, let's get practical. Section 4, hesitation in the moment. Let's look at how this actually plays out in the real world, because it tends to strike at two very critical times, right before you enter a trade and right when you're in the middle of one.
I bet this scenario on the slide feels really familiar. Everything in your analysis is lining up. I mean, it's perfect. The signals are all there. But then you hesitate. That little voice in your head says, well, maybe it's not the absolute best setup, or what if I'm missing something? So you wait, you delay, and just like that, the market takes off without you. You missed your entry, and now you're tempted to chase the trade, which, as we all know, is a total recipe for disaster.
And then there's the hesitation that happens during a trade. This slide breaks down exactly how we get stuck. It starts with Step 1, you have a clear exit plan. Step 2, the price drops to your level. But then comes Step 3, you hesitate. The fear of actually taking that loss makes you freeze, and that's when hope takes over. Step 4, you ditch your plan, you hope for a rebound, and as you see in Step 5, that small, manageable loss just gets bigger and bigger. So, Section 5, strategies for decisive action. Okay, we've defined the problem inside and out. Now let's talk about solutions. How do we actually build the discipline and the mindset to overcome this hesitation and act decisively when it matters most?
Look, beating hesitation is an ongoing process, and this slide is your toolkit. It all starts with self-awareness. You have to know your own triggers. It demands strict discipline to follow your plan and manage your risk on every single trade. And, maybe most importantly, it's about emotional detachment. You have to accept that small losses are just the cost of doing business and focus on your long-term strategy, not the outcome of any single trade.
And that brings us to our final section, Section 6, the automation solution. Now this might be the single most powerful technique of all. Because while mindset is absolutely key, we can actually use technology to enforce our discipline and take emotion almost completely out of the equation. It's a really simple 3-step method to automate your own discipline. Step 1, Hide the current price. This forces you to focus only on your pre-planned levels, not the chaotic up and down noise. Step 2. Automate your entry so the trade gets executed precisely when your conditions are met. No second guessing. And step 3. Automate your exit with stop loss and take profit orders. This isn't about trading blindly. It's about executing a plan you already committed to with total precision.
Let me explain exactly how powerful this is. When you use automated orders, like stop limits for getting in and preset take profits and stop losses for getting out, you make the decision before the trade is even live. The orders are just sitting there in the system. The second your price level gets hit, the order executes. Period. There is zero room for you to second guess yourself in the moment. You literally remove your own ability to hesitate.
By automating your plan, you're not just trading smarter, you're building a system that protects you from your own worst instincts. It turns trading from this emotional roller coaster into the disciplined execution of a strategy you already believe in. So the question I want to leave you with is this. Looking at your own trading plan right now, which one of your rules are you going to automate first?